Hello, my name is Brittany Ki, and I'm in the Math 206 class with Miss Foster. Today, I'm going to be going over stem and leaf plots and line plots in my lesson. Now, with the stem and leaf plot, your stem goes on your left side and your leaf goes on your right side. Your left side represents the tens place and your right side represents the ones place. And your numbers also have to go in numerical order. When I look at the numbers I have, they range from the number 10 to the number 76. So the numbers on my stem side are going to range from the number 1 to the number 7. And since they have to go in numerical order, I have to look at the numbers up here and make sure that when I put them in the ones place, that they range from 0 to 9. Okay, first, my numbers for the ones place, or for the tens place, is 10, 13, 14, and 19. So when I look at those numbers, I realize that 10 is the smallest number. And it always helps me to mark them out so I know that I don't use a number twice. The next smallest number is 13, and then 14, and then 19. As you see here, you don't put the 1 in front of the numbers every time, and that's because this only represents the ones place. If you were to put a 1 in front of it every time, then we would think that we had 4 11s, which we do not. My next number is a 2, which means that I look at all the numbers that are in the 20s. When I look at this, I see that I have a 21, a 28, and another 28. The smallest of those three is 21. And then I have two 28s, but you don't just put it one time, you put it twice, because one time would indicate that we only had one 28. And since we have two, we have to put it down twice. Next, we go on to the 30s, where we have 36 and 38. 36 is the smaller of the two, so it goes first. Next, we have our 40s, but as you can see in the list of numbers that I have, we don't have any numbers that are in the 40s, so we leave that blank. We do not put a 0 saying that there's no numbers, because then that would indicate that we had the number 40, which we do not. So we move on to the 50s. And in that, we have 52 and 59. 52 is the smaller of the two, so that goes first, and then it goes 59. Next, we move on to the 60s, where we have 64, 65, and 60. 60 is the smallest number, so we put a 0. 64 is the next smallest, so we put the 4, and then 65, so we put down a 5. Next, we move on to the 70s. The smallest number of the 70s is a 70. Then we have a 74, a 74, and a 76. So since there's two 74s, we put two 4s down, and then one 6. Next, I'm going to put this on a line plot. First, we're going to have numbers ranging from 10 to 19, because the first row here represents the numbers ranging from 10 to 19. Then it goes from here from 20 to 29. And even though we don't have a 29 here, if a 9 was there, we could go to that, and so you leave that as 29. Next, we go from 30 to 39, then 40 to 49, then 50 to 59, 60 to 69, and 70 to 79. Okay, I have cubes here to help us see how many of each kind of number we have. So from 10 to 19, we have 4 numbers, and we don't put a cube there we don't put 10 cubes for 10, 13 for 13. We actually do 1 for the number of numbers we have. So since we have 4 here, that means that we have 4 numbers. So we have 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's how many we have in the tens place. Then from 20 to 29, which is the 20s, we have 3 different numbers, 21, 28, and 28. And yes, we put 2 for the 28s. We don't just put 1 representing 128. So that's 3. For the 30s, we have 36 and 38, which is 2. For the 40s, we don't have any here, so we don't put any cubes. For 50s, we have 59 and 52, so that is 2 blocks. For 60s, we have 60, 64, 65, so we have 3. And then for 70, we have 4. 70, 74, 74, and 76. So we will put 4 cubes in front of that one. And that concludes my lesson for today. Thank you.